जय झूलेलाल, जय झूलेलाल ऐं सभिनी खे नमस्ते, गुड इवनिंग। सिंधी हेरिटेज फाउंडेशन ऐं श्री दयाल एन हरजाणी पेश पिया कनि संस्कार एपिसोड नंबर 28, एपिसोड नंबर 28। श्राद्ध श्राद्ध छो कबा आहिनि, छाजे लाइ कबा आहिनि ऐं हिननि सां छा थींदो आहे। त ही वो असांजो श्राद्ध जो ही आहे असांजो श्राद्ध जो एपिसोड पार्ट 2। अॼु असांजे विच में विद्वान महाराज आहिनि, महाराज श्री वासुदेव शर्मा जी, उहे असां सां जॉइन थी रहिया आहिनि। असां सां गॾु सनी दास जी जॉइन थी रहिया आहिनि, उहे कुझु क्वेश्चन पुछंदा। असां सां गॾु असांजी हिकिड़ी नंढड़ी नियाणी कल्पिता कलसे जॉइन थींदी, उहा हिकु भॼन गाईंदी ऐं गॾोगॾु असांजा पंहिंजा दादा दयाल एन हरजाणी साहिब जॉइन थींदा ऐं उर्वशी ठाकुर कोशिशि करे रही आहे जॉइन थियण जी, पर हुनखे कुझु टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम अची रहियो आहे, त हूअ बि थोरी देरि में असां सां जॉइन थींदी। त हिकु दफ़ो वरी सिंधी हेरिटेज फाउंडेशन वेलकम्स टू ऑल एंड वी स्टार्टिंग अवर संस्कार एपिसोड नंबर 28। आई वेलकम यू ऑल। मां महाराज श्री वासुदेव शर्मा जो पहिरीं पहिरीं वेलकम कंदसि श्री दयाल एन हरजाणी साहिब जो गॾु ई गॾु असांजा हरिओम।
जय झूलेलाल।
जय झूलेलाल।
आपका सच्ची हृदय से स्वागतम। Today I'm not going to tell you poetry or any doha, and because we have got a lot of interesting questions for you.
Sure.
And we hope to conclude today's program of Shradh with a conclusive response from all of us that whether we should continue and what should be our attitude and our feelings towards this Shradh. So I will request now Kalpita to sing you a bhajan in a welcome song. Can you get Kalpita on the line? If she's
कल्पिता कलसे।
there. Is she there?
कल्पिता, आपका पिक्चर नहीं आ रहा है, आप गा सकते हैं आगे।
There she is. हाँ कल्पिता बेटी, महाराज को सुनाओ अपना गाना। वेलकम करो महाराज शर्मा को।
हरिओम कल्पिता, कैसे है?
हरिओम, हम ठीक हैं। आप कैसे हैं?
हम ठीक हैं। सिंधी ॻाल्हाई नहीं आई ना?
सिंधी में ॻाल्हाई दी है?
थोड़ी
थोड़ी
सिखण
सुठो है। पंहिंजी मातृभाषा ॻाल्हाइण तमामु ज़रूरी है। Okay, we are all ready for you.
सुठो गाए हिकिड़ो गानो।
Okay, we ready to hear you. Kalpita, please start.
मेरा जिया अलाए जे कैसा राजिया, अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया, अलाए जे कैसा राजिया। कोई राजा वो फकीर बाजी करजी बाजिया, कोई राजा वो फकीर बाजी करजी बाजिया। अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया, अलाए जे कैसा राजिया, अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया, अलाए जे कैसा राजिया। के लख डई तो लाल करी, के कख डई कंगाल करी, लख डई तो लाल करी, के कख डई कंगाल करी। दोह असांजा की न ॾिसे शल पंहिंजी महर करे, दोह असांजा की न ॾिसे शल पंहिंजी महर करे। अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया, अलाए जे कैसा राजिया, अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया, अलाए जे कैसा राजिया। पीर पैगंबर पीर व्या व्या हर को सफर करे, पीर पैगंबर पीर व्या व्या हर को सफर करे हाकिम हुक्म हलाए व्या व्या जालिम जुल्म करे हाकिम हुक्म हलाए व्या व्या जालिम जुल्म करे अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया अलाए जे कैसा राजिया अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया अलाए जे कैसा राजिया अलाए जे छा मेरा जिया अलाए जे कैसा राजिया जय झूलेलाल
जय झूलेलाल
जय झूलेलाल तो असां त तमामु राज़ी आहियूं असां
त पोइ हाणे
Thank
हिनखे
you.
शिकागो में मोकिलियूं
हा हा
हाँ?
बिल्कुलु
We
बिल्कुलु
will send you to Chicago, पुट महाराज will be
she's
happy
not
with
only
you.
एतिरो सुरीलो आवाज़ अथसि not only आवाज़ अथसि but even look at her she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But next time we should have a music background. Then then her singing will become much, more what you call sensitive and appealing. Yeah.
Done.
Okay. Okay. God bless you,
Yes.
Kalpita. We'll talk to you
Thank
again.
you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
See you on the show later on. Naranji, can you
Yes.
call Sunny
हाँ जी,
Das
हाँ जी.
please now?
Yes, yeah.
Take care,
अला जे छामे राज़ी आहे अलाए जे कैसा राज़ी आहे भाई श्राद्ध बि करण सां मां सम्झां थो असांजा पूर्वज बि राज़ी थी वेंदा आहिनि
Very
त
good.
त
True.
अॼु जो असां ही क्वेश्चन आंसर चालू कयूं त मां इनवाइट कंदुसि श्री सन्नी दास खे he come and ask the question. I welcome Shri Sanni Das.
Thank you.
स्वागत
Hari
है.
Om Maharaj. Hari Om everybody.
हरिओम.
Hariom, Sandeep.
Maharaj मूंखे ॿ सवाल तव्हां खां पुछणा हुआ. पहिरियों सुवाल त इहो आहे, what is the science of Pitra being satisfied if somebody is fed here on earth?
I had touched on that question earlier by telling you that see जेॾीमहिल असां श्राद्ध जी पूजा कयूं था त श्राद्ध जैन पूजन में बि घणी असांजी महत्व आहे in the essence that श्रद्धा आहे राइट असांजो त भई श्रद्धा पूर्व अनुसार असां उहो कर्म कयूं था त असां जेको कर्ता थी था वञूं त उन कर्ता खे जेको बि फल प्राप्ति थिए थी त उन गीता जो वचन थियल आहे राइट जंहिंमें श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन खे चएसि थो तूं कर्म कर उनजो फल जी प्राप्ति न सोच त श्राद्ध जे विधीअ में बि साॻी ॻाल्हि असांखे करणु खपे त असांखे कर्म करणु खपे असां इहो न सोचूं त भई हिन मां फल प्राप्ति छा थींदी बिकॉज जेॾी महिल असांखे पित्रनि जी छिक थींदी आहे राइट घणेई माण्हू पुछंदा आहिनि भई पितृदोष छा आहे त पितृदोष इहो ई आहे जेॾी महिल छिक थींदी आहे उन्हनि मां त भई असां अञा सेटिस्फाइड न थिया आहियूं या असांखे कुझु पाणी या अन्न जो दान न मिलियो आहे या कुझु ॻाल्हियूं अहिड़ियूं रखियल आहिनि जिन जूं उहे ख़लास न थियूं आहिनि त उहो छिक कंदा आहिनि ऐं जेॾी महिल छिक थींदी आहे त उहो ई असां ॾिसंदा आहियूं त असांजे जीवन में पीड़ा अची करे थींदी आहे मे बी धन जी पीड़ा हुजे संतान जी पीड़ा हुजे या कहिड़ी बि वास्तु में असांखे खोट थी वेंदी आहे त तंहिंजे करे जे मिसाल असां कंहिंखे ब्राह्मण खे घुराए करे ऐं श्राद्ध खारायूं था त उन श्राद्ध जो बि महिमा आहे जेको चवनि था रामायण में वर्णन थियल आहे त जेको ब्राह्मण अचे थो उन ॾींहुं उहो माण्हूअ जो वास करे ऐं अचे थो घर में ऐं उन माण्हू खे एक्चुअली असां खारायूं वेठा इहो वर्णन थियल आहे उन ॾींहुं मां इहा कथा कई हुई रामायण जी एंड जे मिसाल घणेई माण्हू मस्ती करे चवंदा आहिनि त भई जीअं उन ॾींहुं भाउ नारायण बि चयो त भई बंगाली ब्राह्मण मच्छी खाईंदा आहिनि ऐं भई उहे मच्छी हिननि खे ॾींदा आहिनि सो देयर इज ऑल्सो अ रीज़निंग बिहाइंड दैट पर्टिकुलर रिचुअल राइट हींअर जे मिसाल हू मच्छी खाराइनि था त जे तव्हां थोरो हिस्ट्री में वेंदव त 1969 में एतिरी फैमिन थी वई हुई इन एरिया में एंड बंगाल बीइंग नियर अ बे राइट देयर मेन सोर्स ऑफ फूड इज फिश त जे बंगाली माण्हू रोज़ानो मच्छी खाईंदा आहिनि जे तव्हां उन्हनि खे न ॾींदा त उहो चवंदा असांजो ही जेको मील आहे उहो कंप्लीट न आहे त उन्हनि इनकॉर्पोरेट करे छॾियो त भई हा असां ही ॾींदासीं ब्राह्मण खे खाइण जे लाइ एंड वर्णन थियल आहे वेदनि में त जेके ब्राह्मण थींदा आहिनि उहे वेजिटेरियन ई हूंदा आहिनि, शुद्ध उन्हनि खे पंहिंजो स्थिति करणी पवंदी आहे। पर जे मिसाल स्थिति अहिड़ी आहे त घणेई जेके बि असांजा रिचुअल्स जेके आहिनि वो इवॉल्व थी विया आहिनि बिकॉज ऑफ द डेमोग्राफिक कंटेंट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर सिटी और दैट कंट्री। त हिन में पितरनि खे जेॾी महिल असां खारायूं था त जेको तव्हां अन्न जो दान कयो था या पाणीअ जो दान कयो था, तव्हां हुन ब्राह्मण खे थोरी चओ था त भई ओ ही मां तोखे दाल पकवान खारायो, हिन जा 25 रुपया अथई, ऐं मां तोखे कोक हिकिड़ी पीआरी, हिन जा अथई 15 रुपया, ऐं हीअ भई पाणी तोखे ॾिनो, ठीकु आहे, पाणी मुफ़्त में ॾिनो, टोटल तुंहिंजो अथई 45 रुपीस या 50 रुपीस जो बिल अथई। उहो बिल असां हथ में न ॾींदा आहियूं, राइट? उनखे त असां छा कयूं था, दान था कयूं। जेॾी महिल उहो असां दान कयूं था उन श्रद्धा सां, त उन दान जी प्राप्ति थी थिए असांखे वापसि। त इहो ई आहे जंहिंमें असां बाय डिफॉल्ट दान कयूं था ऐं उन दान में असांखे उहा फल प्राप्ति थिए थी।
समझी वियुसि।
Nice. I'll interrupt you here, Sunny, 1 minute. How old you think is the ritual of Shradh?
It has already been mentioned. It has already been mentioned in the Mahabharata, right? Now, if you want a reference point of the Shradh,
But is
I'll
it
give you.
before Mahabharata also?
Yes,
Say
yes, in
Mahabharata
Mahabharata.
is
In
3000
Mahabharata.
or 4000, 5000 BC.
Correct. So Mahabharata
But
is actually where the Manusha have actually started. But prior to that, you already had the rishis which had started. See, we wear this janyo, right? We wear this janyo. I purposely worn the janyo outside so that I can explain to you that what is the essence of this Shradh. Now, when you wear the janyo, when you are a married person, you wear double, like me, right? This is a sign that you are married. And in the janyo, people always say, oh, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh hai. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh हिते आहिनि, जेकी कंड जेकी थींदी आहे, right? ही आहे ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश। पर जेको असांजा ऋण आहिनि, उहे ऋण आहिनि, 3 ऋण आहिनि असांजे मथां, जेको असां पाए करे उनजो रिमाइंडर असां रखूं था त भई ही जणियो न कि केवल मुंहिंजो रक्षा कंदो, पर ही देवताउनि जो ऋण आहे। We are obligated to the devtas because of whatever, benefits or लाभ जेको असांखे मिले थो, ऐं ही ऋषि ऋण आहे, ऐं ही माता पिता जो ऋण आहे। त 3 ऋण जेके आहिनि जर्नी में already आहिनि। These are debts that you have. These are debts in which your ancestors have created. At the very first day, I had said that your ancestors' genetic code is within you. They have created certain desires in this universe. Those desires need to be fulfilled by the future generations, and therefore, these rins, right, the debts that we carry on ourselves in the form of a janu. This is the reason also we use the janu to do all the ancestor worship. When we do ancestor worship, we change the side of the janu. Instead of wearing it on the left shoulder, we will change it and we'll put it on the right shoulder. So, JK Renan, उन्हनि ऋणनि खे असां मुक्त था कयूं त असां हिननि ऋणनि मां मुक्त थी वञूं। दिस इज़ द एसेंस ऑफ इट। घणेई रिमाइंडर्स आहिनि असांखे त जेके असांजा ऑब्लिगेशन्स आहिनि, असां उहे ऑब्लिगेशन्स कंप्लीट कयूं। पर घणेई हींअर सोसाइटी में जेकी असां रहूं था, त उहा सोसाइटी हींअर एतिरो असांखे डीसैनिटाइज़ करे छॾियो आहे त हर का ॻाल्हि जे लाइ असांखे रीज़न खपे, पोइ असां कंदासीं। असां पंहिंजी श्रद्धा जे अनुसार नथा कयूं। मां कल्ह या जोॾी कंहिं सां ॻाल्हायो ऐं चयईं त भई वी ऑलवेज फियर एंड डू द पूजास। आई सेड दैट शुडंट बी द वे, राइट? असां छो ॾकी करे ऐं पूजा कयूं? जे असांखे भॻवानु प्यारो आहे त असां भॻवान जी पूजा स्थिति जेको बि असां कयूं था, प्यार सां ई जुड़ियल आहे भॻवानु, न कि भय सां। नो फियर। We shouldn't be God-fearing people. We should be God-loving people. That is what my essence is.
But here the question comes,
Yeah.
when we talk about Pitra Dosh, then
Yeah.
this has a twist and this creates a fear. By Pitra Dosh asange lagu hai, असांजे भई ज़िंदगी में जेको बुरो पियो थिए इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ पितृ दोष.
You
Now, I
must
cannot
understand.
foresee by any of my pitras wishing me unwell, because my parents, they always love you, right? So
I
how does
understand.
Pitra Dash form? How does it form?
See, Pitra Dosh is formed when we have three types of karma, right? Now we have Sanchit karma. I'll give you an explanation very quickly. Sanchit karma is when I'm thirsty, I take a glass of water. I'm taking the opportunity to get a sip of water as well. We drink this water from the glass. I completed my karma. That is Sanchit karma. I did that action. I quenched my thirst. It's gone. That is Sanchit karma. Prabodh karma. Prabodh karma is karma in which we carry forward into the next life, right? Your past karma, which has been carried forward. Now, this past karma has to get extinguished. If it doesn't get extinguished, then it will continue. How does a person get moksha? You don't sit on some mountain and then recluse yourself and say, I create no karma and therefore I will get moksha. You can't do that because you already have karma, which has been carried forward. And you have to complete that karma. And then you can get your liberation. So in this instance, जेॾीमहिल असां कर्म कयूं था, जे असांखे कुझु पूर्वनि जो न कयल आहे कर्म, त उहो पितृ दोष अची करे थिए थो ऐं उहो असां छठी में ॾिसी था सघूं त हिन माण्हू खे पितृ दोष आहे. पितृ दोष में जीअं मां चयो, वंश जी हानि थींदी आहे. यू डोंट गेट progeny, right? Couples have very difficulty in being fertile and therefore उहो वंश जी हानि थींदी आहे. Now, question is, जे असांजा पितृ आहिनि, असांजा ई माइट आहिनि, त पोइ असांखे छो उहो हानिकारक कंदा? हा, जे हींअर मिसाल मां तव्हांखे ॿुधायां त 400 साल तव्हां बीठा हुजो दरवाज़े जे ॿाहिरां ऐं मां तव्हांखे कुझु बि पुछां न, त तव्हांखे खार लॻंदा की न लॻंदा? बिकॉज़ असांजे वेदनि में वर्णन थियल आहे त जेॾीमहिल प्रेता जेको स्पिरिट फॉर्म आहे उहो वञी करे पितृ थिए थो श्राद्धनि खां पोइ, राइट? जेॾीमहिल ॿारो असां ॿारी जी पूजा कयूं था त उहो पितृ वञी करे थो थिए. जेॾीमहिल उहो पितृ थिए थो त उन जा टे जेके पीढ़ियूं आहिनि उन्हनि खे प्रमोशन मिली थी वञे. सो पहिरीं पीढ़ी जेको पितृ आहे उहो वञी करे वसुअ जो रूप थो थिए ऐं ॿी पीढ़ी जेकी आहे उहो आदित्य जो रूप थो थिए ऐं टीं पीढ़ी जेकी आहे रुद्र जो रूप थो थिए. जेकी चौथी पीढ़ी आहे उनखे मुक्ति थी मिली वञे. This is how the Shradhas work. They call this Swargarohar, right? In which each of the generations gets liberated. So the person who actually passes away liberates that third generation away from him. And that third generation, once is liberated, will always bless you. But if they are stuck in limbo state, here केर माण्हू पितरनि जी पूजा नथो करे, त उनखे ज़रूर वो दोष ईंदो ऐं उन दोष में उनखे सभु हीअ असफलता मिलंदी. जेको
One
बि
question. दोष किथां ईंदो? केरु ॾींदो दोष हुनखे?
Dosh is not like that the pitras are cursing you that you get the dosh.
No, that
it's
cannot
because
be.
those pitras have not evolved into the next level. Therefore, the dosh is created. Here we are doing Shradh Puja and we are trying to liberate everyone.
So that means it is a karma not performed in the proper perspective.
This is the reason why I showed you the Janyo, right?
God or nature will give that particular family or person a little difficulty in his life.
The rin, the depths that we have, this is a constant reminder that we have these depths. We have to relinquish these depths. So Devtaan jo rin, Rishin jo rin, Mata Pita jo rin, hinna jane mein already established thiyal hai. त तव्हांखे ही आहे ऋण तव्हांखे चुकाइणो आहे. पर असां छा कंदा आहियूं, जनेऊ पाईंदा आहियूं जेॾी महिल शादी करण वारा आहियूं. अॻिमें जनिया ईअं न थींदा. अॻिमें जनिया थींदा हा एज जे अनुसार. जे तूं ब्राह्मण जो संतान आहीं त तोखे जनियूं 4 सालनि में ई पाए छॾींदा हा, 4 साल. तंहिंजे करे असां चवंदा आहियूं त 7 सालनि खां पोइ असांजा सभु कर्म रिकॉर्ड थींदा वेंदा आहिनि. ऐं जेॾी महिल उहे कर्म रिकॉर्ड थियनि था त उहे सभु असांजा दोष पाण ई असां क्रिएट था कयूं न। हींअर घणेई तव्हां ॾिसो घणेई ॿार आहिनि वञी करे जे ॾिसंदा आहिनि भई कीलियूं आहिनि किथे, राइट, अ स्मॉल एंट हिल, उनखे वञी करे या त पेर हणी करे या त झलाईंदा या त कुझु त कंदा, या त कंहिं जानवर खे वञी करे सताईंदा या छा, त उहे कर्म आहिनि जेके असां कयूं था। नाउ when we get the impact of the karma, when we are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, then we realize, hey, we didn't do anything wrong, so how am I getting punished? That is the question we ask. But we don't realize that many of the karmas that we are doing, it is doing where you are knowingly or unknowingly doing it. असांखे ख़बर न आहे त तंहिंजे करे असां उन श्राद्ध जो जेको ऋण आहे असां उहो ऋण चुकाए था छॾियूं जेॾी महिल असां श्राद्ध जी पूजा कयूं था या तर्पण असां कयूं था। तंहिंजे करे मां चयो जे तव्हांखे ॿियो कुझु नथो पुॼे, लॻंदव टोटल 2 मिंट, पर तव्हांखे जेकी तृप्ति उन खां मिलंदी तर्पण मां, you will be highly satisfied because I then have done an action and that action has created certain reactions and that reactions are going to come in the future and benefit who? Me. जेको बि असां कयूं था पंहिंजे लाइ था कयूं, असां ई कर्ता आहियूं, राइट, कर्ता असां आहियूं, त लाभ कंहिंखे मिलंदो या अशुभ कंहिंखे मिलंदो, असांखे ई मिलंदो। त इन एसेंस सां असांखे सोचणु खपे त जेॾी महिल असां श्राद्ध पूजा कयूं था, ईअं न आहे त भई हिकिड़ी ठठोली कयो ऐं चयूं था त भई ओ यू नो ब्राह्मण खे घुराईस ऐं उनखे असां श्राद्ध में खारायूं था एसेट्रा एसेट्रा, भई ओ मुंहिंजे पिता खे उहे यू नो दाल पकवान मिली वियो, उहा ठठोली करणु आहे। जेॾी महिल तव्हां ठठोली कयो था त उनजो बि अशुभ कर्म तव्हां कयो था। हींअर जे मिसाल तव्हां श्राद्ध खारायो था ऐं तव्हां जे मिसाल मूंखे चवंदा आहिनि, महाराज प्लीज कम फॉर लंच टुमारो। I was like, listen, there's a big difference between you inviting me for lunch and you inviting me for a Shradh. When I come and do a Shradh in your home, I'm coming as that particular ancestor which has departed. And when I go back to my own home, I do a Sadhya, right? I do a Siddhi in which I relieve that particular debt. It's not so simple. उन मां चयो तव्हां ॿार जी विधि जो कढ़ी चांवर तव्हां खाओ, तव्हां ॾिसो केतिरो गौरव थींदो तव्हांखे खाधो उन ॾींहुं। श्राद्धनि जो खाधो पचाइणु मुश्किल थींदो आहे, तंहिंजे करे हर का ॻाल्हि में असांखे श्रद्धा हुजणु खपे। जे असां श्रद्धा रखंदासीं, if we are only looking for expressively a methodology in which tell me how it works, there are certain things I can't tell you how it works, but it works. Today, I will explain to you in a very scientific manner how the Tarpan ritual is, and we will go to that later.
I think Narayan wants to ask a question.
असां सां गॾु उर्वशी ठाकुर बि जॉइन थी वई आहे, त मां हुनखे इनवाइट कंदसि।
Hello,
No
Narayan.
problem.
Let
Yes.
let Sunny finish his question.
No problem. Ask Sunny first. He is also
Sunny?
joining.
Yeah. Welcome, Urvashi. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om,
Hari Om.
Maharaj.
Hari Om,
Hari Om,
Urvashi.
Dada.
Sunny, can you ask your second question?
Maharaj,
Yeah.
your answer was fantastic. मूंखे हर अधु ॻाल्हि सम्झ में आई, पर मां अञा सिखां वेठो। The next question जेको आहे उहो तमामु relevant आहे, because nowadays we cannot travel, and even if I want to go to India and do the other rituals, I cannot do it. So somebody asked, why can't I simply meditate and wish them well on their anniversary day and do some charity work or helping humanity in their name?
Okay, very good question. Now I will explain to you what is written according to the Shastras, right? How do the Shastras view Dhan? When we are doing Anatan or we are doing Pani Jo Dhan, how is the viewpoint? I'm establishing a little bit of astrology in this as to how it works. Now, a lot of people say that, oh, he Shradan Jodi and Ma Shrad, instead of Goraing, Ma Maraj Gorai Kare Shrad Karaya, Ma, when you say better, Ma charity made a yecha, right? Charity Tankanke Dinda, Jeke Yatiman, Jeke Apayajan, Jeke Bura Ashramian, Jeke Daridan, correct? These are the people you will actually go and give your charity to, because these are the people who society deems to be that they are needy, right? Old folks home, orphanage, what did I say? The other one was uh, people who are crippled, right? These are the first thoughts that will come, that I should donate my wealth or I should do anadan to these group of people. Now, in the Veds, it says that all these people that you are doing the dhan to, these are the pratig or the significator of Saturn. So anybody who is without a limb, right? That's a person representing Saturn. The person who is old is representing Saturn. The person who has no parents has been represented by Saturn. Now, Saturn is the planet in which it gives a Vakra Drishti. That means I can be looking straight ahead, but when I see you from my side, I can actually greatly impact you, right? So what are we doing? Instead of getting Shani to see us from Vakri, we are going to Shani and we are doing dhan to Shani, to what he dhan dait, okay, right? Now, Shani in the Veds has been said that he is a dharam karta. That means if you have done something, he will dispense that dharam action upon you. Now, Shani has also been given the title of being a thief. Today, many people are afraid of that Sarisati very time period in which a person goes through in a life. Sarisapta Sala Dikatina, where Shani's drishti is on you, and you go through all your upheavals during that particular time period. So now, during that time, Harko Manu Chanda, oh, Vanikai Hanumante, Tel Char, Shani ji Puja Kar, Shani je Matha, to Kauro Tel Char, and all that, right? Shani Chando, ha, ye Munjo Bhakta Ayo hai aj. हिन छंछर ॾींहुं कई, ॿिए छंछर ॾींहुं कई, टे छंछर ॾींहुं कई, पंजे चौथे छंछर ते बरसाति पई, मंदर में न आयो, ठका हणी हींअर बुझो, राइट? सो शनीअ जो जेको दान जेको असां थींदा आहे, त जेसि ताईं असां उनखे कंदासीं तेसि ताईं उहो असांजे मथां सुठी दृष्टि रखंदो, पर जेॾी महिल असां उन सां हटिजी वेंदासीं त straight comes with impact. So whatever you did goes back to square zero. So your dhan is not having that impact that you wish to do, right? Now, if you do a dhan and your dhan is to a temple, I always give this philosophy to anybody who asks me. Don't give money, because money is so easy a karam to do. Take the effort, go and buy seedho, go and, seedho vati kare, una mandar ke vani kare dio, pani jo dhan kayo, anna jo dhan kayo, ai po wo chaos here jata, maybe panje prasad mein halai chadiyo ya kuch bhi kayo, because je here ta mandar mein dhan ma, please don't get me wrong, na? I'm not telling you don't do charity in the form of money, but I'm just telling you how your charity can work for you in a better way. Now, if you do the dhan of money to the temple, then that money can be utilized to pay many things. It could be paying an electric bill. It could be paying, the rental of the place. It could be paying the salary of a person. So you really don't know what is your money working for. Like I have an MBA. If your money is not working for you, you are actually losing money. So in the same context, I'm also telling you that Jetan Chauta Hama meditate kare hunan ke sukh prapti kandus. Really? Do you have the ability? Do you have that ability to do meditation and connect? Peningal ta iya kayo. How many people can connect when they are in meditation? Rarity, right? I have been doing meditation since I was a child, 4 years old. मेरे पिता वठी करे व्यारे च ॾींदो हो, चंदो वेही करे हिते ध्यान कर, 4 बजे उथारींदो हो. Now, for me, when I sit in meditation, I go into samadhi. So I'm able to connect straight away. How many people can achieve that? It's very difficult. So it's easy to say, it sounds nice. The bhai ma kuch bhi to kaya, ma uthi kare logo one ni ma meditate kandas. I many munje meditations hai munje pritran ke tripti mili vendi. It's not the correct action. The second thing is, like I mentioned to you, the effects of the dhan. Now, when you are doing a dhan to a mandir, to a holy organization, try to do the dhan in which it gives you multiple fold effect. जेता अन्न जो दान कयो था त इमेजिन कयो जॾहिं महिल तव्हां श्री कृष्ण अर्पण कयो था उन दान खे तव्हां चओ था मुंहिंजो न आहे ही कृष्ण जो आहे मां श्री कृष्ण खे ई अर्पण कयां थो हर श्राद्ध में असां श्री कृष्ण अर्पण कंदा आहियूं बिकॉज ही जेको मां कर्ता करे ऐं मां कयां थो एक्शन उहो एक्शन मां श्री कृष्ण खे अर्पण कयां थो तव्हां इमेजिन कयो हिकिड़े 5 किलो गोथरी चांवरनि में केतिरा अनाज जा दाना हूंदा उन जो तव्हांखे मल्टीपल फोल्ड इफेक्ट मिलंदो बिकॉज तव्हां गुप्त दान करे छॾियो विदाउट रियलाइज़िंग जेॾी महिल तव्हां पाणीअ जो दान कयो था तेॾी महिल तव्हां गुप्त दान कयो था गुप्त दान जी महमिया is right after उन ॾींहुं त कन्यादान चई करे सॼो फासिजी वियासीं त हींअर माॻई कन्या मान थी वियो आहे त हींअर जे कन्या जे विवाह में जेको असां कयूं था उहो उत्तम में उत्तम दान आहे एंड देन पोइ जेको ॿियो दान आहे उहो आहे रत दान हींअर जे तव्हांखे कुझु पाण खे हासिल करणो आहे जे लाभ कुझु हासिल करणो त रत दान कयो nothing greater than helping humanity, right? Giving blood. Then after that is Guptadan or Gaudan, sorry. After that is Gaudan. After Gaudan is only Guptadan. So, जेॾीमहिल असां दान कयूं था साधारण दान आहे बिकॉज असांजे साॼे हथ खे ख़बर आहे खाॿे हथ कहिड़ो दान कयो राइट जेॾीमहिल हथ विझंदा आहियूं खीसे में त असां जेके कलयुग में जेके आङड़ियूं आहिनि न असांजूं उन्हनि खे हिकु बैंक नोट जो ख़बर पइजी वेंदी आहे त ही 100 जो आहे पती या हीअ 10 जी पती आहे त जेॾी महिल दान जो हथु वधंदो आहे त रुगो 10 जो नोट निकिरंदा आहिनि जेॾी महिल वेंदा आहियूं खाइण जे लाइ ॿाहिरि त असांजा 100 जा नोट निकिरी वेंदा आहिनि त जे उन भावना सां असां दान कयूं गुप्त दान करे त भई मूंखे ख़बर न आहे मां केतिरो दान कयां थो गुप्त आहे त उन गुप्त दान जो प्रभाव असांजे शास्त्रनि में लिखियलु आहे the 1000 guna vadhikar instead of doing dan. So this dan to Jupiter is 1,000-fold back. This dan to Shani is 1-to-1. So dan kyo una jo wapas 1. That's it. तंहिंजे करे इन्ही में थोरो अंतर आहे घणेई माण्हू चवंदा आहिनि ओ पर मां जे महाराज खे न घुराए करे ऐं मां ही कयो त इहो बि त दान आहे हा दान आहे पर उन दान जो प्रभाव छा आहे that's the difference
Thank you
Sunny,
Maharaj
are you
thank you
happy?
very much yes
Are you
very
satisfied?
happy with the answer thank you Maharaj
Huh?
I'm
Okay,
very
you
happy
can
with the
stay-
answer
you
actually
can
I
stay
had my
online.
own doubts
You can stay online and we'll ask Urvashi to ask 2 questions. Urvashi,
sure
can you ask your question to Maharajji?
Yes, Maharaji, thank you for answering my questions. The first one is about Bodh Gaya. So I
Yes.
have heard that if one goes to Bodh Gaya, then in the following years, one doesn't need to observe Shradh further. Like that is the end of the observance of Shradh in your home. Is
Not
that
true.
true? Or what is the, yeah.
No, not true.
So what is the
There are
significance of Bodh Gaya?
there are many math which have actually come together, and I think you can even Google them. You can find some of the YouTube videos on them. There was a discussion on Bodh Gaya and Haridwar and Badrinath. Now the essence of this whole thing is why Bodh Gaya. I will explain to you very quickly. If you see the shape of India, right, that almost diamond-like shape. Not exactly diamond, but it's just like, if you really look at it, it is Vishnu which is actually sleeping like this, right? जेको शेषनाग ते विश्राम करे सुम्हंदो आहे त उहा शेप आहे इंडिया जी. This has been since time eternal, right? Now, Bodh Gaya had been given because of an asur which Ram had killed, and because he killed that asur, and that asur's name was Gaya, therefore this particular Teerth Stan it became, because he gave a boon to that asur that जेके बि अच करे हिते पिंडदान कंदा उन्हनि खे तुरंत मुक्ति मिलंदी. That was the reason. I'm telling you the story in a very short manner.
Yes.
Now, in the Shastras, it is written that if you do Pindadan, you have to do Pindadan in these places in order not to do the Pindadan again, right? It is not only Bodh Gaya, because this is where it's Vishnu Pad. It's the feet of Vishnu. The middle part is the Nabi, which is Haridwar. All right. And then you have Badrinath, which is the Kapal. So you have the head of Vishnu in Badrinath, you have the Nabhi of Vishnu at Haridwar, and you have the feet of Vishnu at Bodh Gaya. These three places have been mentioned that if you go and do a puja, Pindadhan in all the three holy places, then you can stop. If you have only done in Gaya, you cannot. You have to continue with the Shradh. Now, also mentioned in the Devi Bhagavad is Siddhapur. That Devi Narayan was asking me to buy Zalunya Pinda Siddhapur me Gujarat me vanikaya find. So Siddhapur has also been given a Shakti Peeth, right? It is one of the Shakti Peeths in which it says that instead of a woman's Shradh being performed or Pindadan, if you are not able to go to these three places, you go to only Siddhapur and do the Pindadan there. That is enough for that woman to get her moksha, because there is a katha associated in the Srimad Bhagavad with that particular place known as Siddhapur. So these are the four most important places. Vishnupad, and I'm talking about men, Vishnupad, Haridwar, and Badrinath. These are the three places mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavad. Siddhapur is mentioned in the Devi Bhagavad. उनजो वर्णन हिकड़ी कथा में थियल आहे श्रीमद भागवत में भी, जंहिंमें जेॾीमहिल कपिल देव जेको आहे ऋषि, उनजी पूजा थी हुई ऐं उनखे वरदान मिलियल हो त भाई तूं हिते पंहिंजो जेको शरीर त्यागीनीअ त उते उहो हिकु स्थान तीर्थ स्थान थी पवंदो ऐं उन तीर्थ स्थान जो नालो सिद्धपुर. Siddhapur means siddhi karan waro share, right? That is what it means, Siddhapur. हर हिकु ताले सां जुड़ियल आहे, मीनिंग ईअं न ईअं रखी छॾियो अथनि. तव्हां ॾिसो केरु माण्हू पंहिंजे पुट जो नालो रखंदो आहे रावण?
No.
So there's a reason.
So let me understand. Let me just say it in my own words what I've understood from you, that for a male, it must be done in these three holy places, Haridwar, Badrinath, and Bodh Gaya, for the soul to be liberated.
Correct.
And then one doesn't need to do it again. But for a lady, it should be done in Siddhapur.
Correct.
And then one doesn't need to do it again, because then that soul is liberated.
Correct.
Okay. So it's like, it's not that you have to do it. I mean, in one's lifetime, one doesn't necessarily go. Then you just continue to do it through your lifetime.
See,
for the family.
You know, a lot of people take the easy way out, right? Okay, मां हिकु दफ़ो वियो इंडिया में वञी करे मां ही सभु पिंडनि स्थाननि ते मां पिंड भरे आयसि त तंहिंजे करे मुंहिंजी obligations खलास थी वई. Really? Does the obligation happen at the end like that? तव्हांजे माता पिता तव्हांजे लाइ छा न कयो? मां हिकिड़े छोकिरे खे त मां रुगो पुछियोमांसि त जेॾीमहिल तुंहिंजी माउ 4 कलाक सुबुह जो साण 2 लॻे उथी करे ऐं तुंहिंजे वेही करे ऐं तोखे लोलियूं ॾिनी हुअईं त भई तूं सुम्ह वीचारा, त उन 4 कलाकनि जो असां मुल्ह कीअं चुकाईंदासीं? या जेको असां ठञ जेकी पियूं था माता मां, पिता जो ऋण चुकाइण तमामु सवलो आहे, माता जो ऋण चुकाइण तमामु मुश्किल आहे. So the mother does a lot of sacrifices, not only for the child, but for the family itself. She is actually the whole pillar of religious standing in our Vedas. And this is the reason why, in our Veds, women have always been placed on a very high pedestal. But unfortunately, society deems to be something else.
Yes. So actually, I mean, it is a nice thing to do it every year because, you're remembering your ancestors on that day. So actually, I would not particularly want to end it just by going to a couple of places. I would rather remember them every year and continue to do it, through the lifetime.
The funny thing is that when you go to these places like Bodh Gaya and Badrinath, when you do the Shradh, the Pindadan Puja over there, they tell you that, hey, you have to give up one piece of fruit. And people give up the fruit which they hate, which is useless. Today, if you don't like...
defeats the purpose.
Here, misal ताकि संतरा न था वरन, and ता वो त्यागे ता चलियो, तो पुतना कयो छा त्याग?
कुछ त्याग को ना होने में.
हाँ, तो जनी मतलब माँ वे उस करण जिलाश गया में, तो उन्हें पूछो तो भाई पन्ने जी क्या फल आप त्यागना चाहते हैं? And I loved सीताफल. I used to buy. असां सिंगापुर में मिलंदो हो सीताफल, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जा हेॾा वॾा आहिनि मिलंदा हा. Used to be $6-8 a kilo. I used to buy and I used to enjoy it. But when I went and he said, give up something that you love in terms of a fruit, that was the first thing which came in my mind. I said, okay, I love this. Now I'm going to do it. Now, when I went to Badrinath to do it, he asked me, "Aapne phal tyaga hai Gaya mein?" I said, yeah. I have done Sitafal. He said, "ठीक है, आपने Sitafal tyaga hai, to Ramfal bhi tyag dijiye." So I said, okay, fine. Ramfal also.
So is this for the rest of your life? You have to, or only for 1 year?
No, throughout. So
Really?
I don't consume those two fruits anymore.
Oh my God. All right.
Which I love, right? You have to give up something which you love, then you will get the benefit otherwise.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was really very beneficial.
You have any other question?
ॿियो प्रश्न आहे.
Before you ask, I want to cut in one question.
Yes, please.
Why is it important that you must remember your parents or do something only on a particular 15 days? I remember my parents every day, and I remember them with love and affection every day.
Absolutely.
What's the difference?
मां सभिनी खे चवंदो आहियां, जेसिताईं तव्हांजा माउ पीउ तव्हां सां ज़िंदा आहिनि, जे उन्हनि खे तव्हां उहा प्यार न ॾिनो, इज़त न ॾिनी, त पोइ उहो फोटोग्राफ विझी करे दीवार ते ऐं चंदन हार पाए करे उनजे अॻियां तिलक हणी ऐं तव्हां अगरबत्तियूं ॿारियो था, इज़ यूज़लेस. जेॾी महिल तव्हां सां साण आहिनि जीवित, उनखे तव्हां लेखियो नथा.
Correct.
ही सुवाल तूं मूंखां 10 दफ़ा थो पुछी, मां तोखे ऑलरेडी चई छॾियो, तोखे हीअं करिणो अथई. मिठो ॻाल्हायो. तव्हांजी स्थिति तव्हांजे माता पिता मां आहे. Your existence is from your parents, and you treat parents this way. It's shameful sometimes when I see children talking to their parents so rudely. I feel very sad that a child is behaving this way to the parent. So you are right. Why should we only remember them during that 15 days? पर असां मनुष्य आहियूं न. जेॾी महिल माया जाल में असां फासजी था वञूं त उन माया जाल मां कीअं असां निकिरंदासीं? त हिकु hello, you have 15 days to remember your parents, grandparents, etc. Do it now. तो पोइ असांखे उहो बल्ब खुले थो त भई असां ही कमु कयूं. पर तर्पण असांजे हिकु विधि आहे. संध्या जी पूजा. हींअर संध्या जी पूजा केरु कंदो आहे? तव्हां मूंखे ॿुधायो. केरु कंदो आहे संध्या जी पूजा? विधि आहे. तव्हांखे करणु खपे. जेॾी महिल बल्ब ॿरे थो, लाइट ॿरे थी घर में, तव्हांखे संध्या करणु खपे. पर केरु थो करे? हिकिड़े ॾींहं असां 16 संस्कारनि ते टॉपिक कढंदासीं.
This is very important, Maharaji. I remember my mother used to do Sandhya Puja, but we could not understand at that time. And now, of course, the significance is lost. So we'll take this at some other time.
Yes, I'll tell you.
This is something different. So we'll let Urvashi continue her second question. Then we will.
Thank you, Dada.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so my second question is that the last day of Shradh is considered to be very significant. It's called Mahalaya Amavasya. could you explain the significance of this day, this
Okay.
last day?
It is also known as Sarva Pitri, right? Mahalya is just the day that we are observing that particular tithi. And Omasa ji tithi thindi hai, when Omasa, you know, is no moon. It's dark,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
when there is when there is no moon, a lot of prayers have been said that you cannot do because there is no light to guide you. जेकी असां दीपक ॿारियूं था त दीपक मां जेकी रोशनी थिए थी उहा आहे अग्नि जो प्रवेश जे सूर्य चंद्रमा ते बाउंस होकर एनर्जी ऐं पृथ्वी ते अचे थी त उहा बि सूर्य जो प्रकाश आहे चंद्रमा खे कुझु प्रकाश न आहे इट डजंट हैज एनी लाइट इट इज जस्ट अ रिफ्लेक्शन त जेॾीमहिल कुझु बि लाइट न हूंदी आहे त कंहिंजो प्रभाव वधीक थींदो आहे ऑल द डार्क एनर्जीज़ द पितरस उन्हनि जो प्रभाव हाईएस्ट थींदो आहे उन ॾींहुं ऐं तंहिंजे करे जेके तंत्रिक जेके थींदा आहिनि उहे उमास जे ॾींहुं पंहिंजी तंत्रिक सिद्धियूं कंदा आहिनि because it is also associated with ancestor worship this particular tithi has been given the importance that if you do not remember today you may remember up to maybe like for example myself I have traced back 9 great grandfathers right from I've traced back to all the holy places that I went to all the records which were recorded I've traced back 9 now how many people can actually trace back that many now if you can also forget about tracing back उन्हनि जी देहांत जी डेट का असांखे कीअं ख़बर पवंदी त तंहिंजे करे असांजे शास्त्रनि में चयल आहे त हिननि 15 ॾींहंनि में जेकी असांजूं तिथियूं जेके थियनि थियूं प्रतिपाठ खां वठी all the way till उमास right हिन हिकिड़े ॾींहं में कहिड़े बि ॾींहं में तव्हांजो केरु न केरु पूर्व जेको हूंदो हुन जो देहांत थी वियो हूंदो correct like in the Srimad Bhagavat I'll explain to you a little bit more in the Srimad Bhagavat it says that सतन ॾींहंनि जो ही श्रीमद भागवत असांखे रखिणो आहे उन्हनि 7 ॾींहंनि खां पोइ उहो भोग थींदो आहे श्रीमद भागवत जी कथा त 7 ॾींहंनि जो वर्णन थियल आहे या 15 ॾींहंनि जो वर्णन छो थियल आहे ही 7 ॾींहं जेके थींदा आहिनि फ्रॉम मंडे ऑल द वे टिल संडे right these are the days of the week which actually correlate to the planets now in that 15 days of Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha when the tithis start these are the days in which like I mentioned the most amount of subtle energies from your Yamlok have been granted to enter this space which is known as Bhumi right Bhuloka now when these energies enter here on the last day today I don't know my grandfather may have passed away on a Monday or my great grandmother must have passed away on a Tuesday I don't know the tithis so how do I even understand which particular day should I observe because when I observe a different day it is like I'm sending a letter without a zip code right the letter will eventually reach via but it will reach after a long time so if I know what is the zip code I will send the letter off and that zip code will ensure that that person gets that letter immediately without delay so Pitra Paksha Amavasya is the day on which we remember Samasta Pitra. That means all the Pitras in your lineage from your father's side, your mother's side, even if you have a very dear friend, right, who you think might not have got some moksha, you can include that person's name in that puja and do for that person, and he will also get tripti.
Very good.
Yeah.
Urvashi,
She's
Sunny,
muted.
any question? Any question to ask, Sunny?
I think Urvashi is muted.
Maharaj, I just wanted to thank you once again because I really thoroughly enjoyed it and I hope everybody else also does because I think this is really a lifetime of knowledge that we can keep with us and pass it on to our younger generation. So really, I appreciate it. Everything.
Welcome.
So I can continue now, Maharaj?
Sure.
Okay, my question to you is, can daughters perform Shradh and do Pindadan?
Of course. I mean, every time we say women cannot do this, women cannot do that, women get very irritated.
Exactly.
But in the Pindadan is not what they can do. They can do Tarpan. It is mentioned in the Garud Pran. If you take chapter 8 of the Garud Pran, it actually explicitly mentions that a wife can do Tarpan. So if a wife can do Tarpan, then why daughters, nieces, everybody else can do? A Tarpan is nothing which will actually create impediment to the liberation of that soul. I'll explain to you when I tell you the science behind this whole thing.
Okay.
Then
So
you
then
will appreciate it.
my next question is, why is it said that putting photos of the deceased in temple is inauspicious, and some people say that it should be kept in a particular direction? Now, if you
Now,
love a person, what difference does it make which direction it is kept?
it is important when we establish temples. It is according to the Vastu. If you enter any temple, the temples which have been constructed with the necessary Vastu for a temple. If you enter a temple, the temple always has an odd number of steps when you're entering the main sanctum. It will never have even. There is a Vastu which is specially dedicated to building a temple. Where are the mandalas going to be? Where is going to be the inner sanctum? Where are going to be the rest of the sanctums? All have been put into this Shastra, right? And this Shastra explains the directions as well. Now, there is a little bit of confusion here because everybody says Vastu, then they talk about Feng Shui. Now, asanjo Feng Shui kathayo. Feng Shui Vastu mai. Remember the Silk Road, which used to connect India with China? असांजो वास्तु उतां ई ट्रेवल थी करे चाइना पहुतो ऐं वरी चीननि फंग शुई करे उनखे पंहिंजे सॼे दुनिया खे फैलायो। असां हिंदू थी करे पंहिंजे वास्तु खे न महिमा ॾींदा आहियूं ऐं चवंदा आहियूं असां फंग शुई मास्टर घुरायो आहे हितां हुतां। So funny. Just like yoga has been packaged by America and now, you know, Adam Sindler, etc., is a yoga master. असांजो वीचारो ॿिया जेके आहिनि विद्वान सभु इंडिया में जे योगा सेखारींदा आहिनि उन्हनि जो कुझु नालो न आहे पर हिन माण्हूअ जो नालो चढ़ी वियो अमेरिका में।
Oh, sure, no. If you're white, you're right. There's a joke going on.
So, you know, not.
But why you say?
Coming
why
back.
People say that you should not keep the photograph of your father or mother or whatever next to in the altar of your house or
Coming
next
back
to
to
a
that
God's
question.
picture?
So, when you have an altar at home, you should not keep the parents' pictures in the altar. First of all, देवताउनि खे जेको स्थान ॾिनल आहे, right? उन स्थान ते असां माता पिता खे नथा रखी सघूं because माता पिता असांजा पहिरियां गुरु आहिनि। Your first gurus are your parents, nobody else. ही जेको तव्हां गुरु कयो था उहो पोइ थो अचे। पहिरियों गुरु तव्हांखे जेको सेखारे थो भई तूं ॻाल्हाए कीअं, तूं पंधु कीअं कर, तुंहिंजो वातावरण दुनिया सां कीअं हुजणु खपे, तुंहिंजा लक्षण जेके आहिनि उहे सभु पंहिंजे माता पिता मां असां सिखूं था। Correct? The doctrines are all coming from the parents. And therefore, the doctrines are impeded in us from young. The जेॾीमहिल असां माता पिता खे उन देवता जे स्थान ते खणी करे रखूं था त वास्तु शास्त्र में लिखियल आहे इहो उल्लंघन आहे। Because the guru always is one step lower than the gods. It's never kept on the same level. Now, जे उहे माता पिता जो ध्यान थियल आहे that they should absolutely not be in the altar, but they should be positioned. So the ancestral photos should be always at the south direction facing towards the north direction. So that north direction is the direction of Yampuri. And therefore, if they are facing this way, kept on the south and facing north, that direction enables them to enter the realm because that's where their place is. Today, you are changing the direction for them and say, hey, no, you face Ganeshji, right? So instead of getting the blessings from Yam, they're getting blessings from Ganesh, which is not a bad thing, but it creates it doesn't create harmony in the direction in which they are facing, because they are diseased, right? They already passed. They are deceased, and therefore the direction should be this. It is all about Vastu. It is all about the circle of energy which is created from that person, even though that person has passed away. So this is the reason why they say that the picture should be on the north. It should be facing the south direction, facing towards the north.
Okay, we will
Yeah.
continue on that at some other time. And I'm sure my wife would like to ask this question to you at a later date. But
No problem.
now, the most important, we have got Naranji. Can we extend today's show by 5-10
Yeah,
minutes?
no problem,
Can
no
we?
problem. तर्पण जे बारे में टाइम बुधाना वाला टाइम बुधाना वाला हुआ
We'll do
उन्हें बारे
that.
में yeah.
So now I want to know from you,
Yeah.
Maharajji, how to perform a Tarpan mantra
Mhm.
on the 6th day so that
Yeah.
we all can perform it in our own way, because nowadays Maharajas are very busy in Hong Kong and other places also. So if we want to perform it, how do we go about doing this?
I hope none of the Maharaj get angry with me
But,
by telling you, what
yeah.
is supposed to be done. But
So how do we do
more
that? Can you
than that
explain us?
is actually to understand the action of the tarpan, right? I'm going to teach you guys tarpan in a most simplest manner. It will take only a couple of minutes, 2
Okay,
or 3
fantastic.
minutes as the most, but that will give you the same impact as you sit and do a Shraddhanjali, right, to the parents on that particular day. So first of all, what does tarpan mean? Tarpan actually means to satisfy or satiate the debt which one has towards gods, rishis, and pitras, right? So gods meaning all devtas, and then you have rishis, which are the sages, and then you have pitris, which are the ancestrals. Now, how do we satisfy those three groups of people which are on our journey, right? And this particular ceremony can be done, the Tarpan ceremony can be done by anyone. Please don't do if, say, for example, if you are doing for your father who is deceased, that's fine. But don't let your grandson do for your grandfather because you are still alive, right? So the person who is doing should have one generation which is already deceased. If you have somebody who is alive in the home, then you cannot do this. It's not correct, because the person, like I mentioned, it goes into three different roop, right? It goes into the Vasu roop, the Aditya roop, and the Rudra roop. So because of that condition, the person who is alive has not gone into the Vasu roop yet. And if, let's say, the grandchild does it, then it becomes incorrect, because one generation is still alive. It needs to have that 3 generations ahead of you. Then you do this tarpan, it will make sense. Now, if you will just pull out that, the slide that I had sent earlier, I'll explain as to how. The one with the hand. Before I actually do the thing. Yeah. Now, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Now, you will see there's a science in the whole action of the tarpan. Now, in the picture, you can see that I have already marked out which are the fingers which will amplify the purusharths, right? The purusharths are the tenets of our life. So we have 4 tenets in our life. So you have, this is the little finger, which is over here. This is the Kama finger. Then you have the Dharma finger, and you have the Earth finger, and then the Moksha finger. So you have all these 4 purusharths, which is Dharma, Earth, Kama, Moksha. All are on your fingers, nowhere else. These 4 tenets are on your hands. Now you also have each of this finger each phalange has been subdivided into 3. Ever wondered why it is 3 digits and not 4? Because it is divided into the sattva, rajas, and tamas. Now, when you are doing the tarpan later, which I'll explain to you, when you're doing the tarpan, when the water is falling from the forward motion, you are actually creating the tarpan in which the water is falling and the devtas are being classified. असां देवताउनि जे निमित्त असां कयूं था देवताउनि जो नाला वठंदा आहियूं जेॾी महिल तर्पण कंदा आहियूं that action when we pour the water over here, the water falling from the tips of the fingers are the ones which are the 4 purusharths in the dharma that we are practicing. So these are towards the devtas. Then when we do the action where we cup the hand like this, when we cup the hand and we are pouring it from the sides over here, this is for all the Divya Purusha. That means, you know, the or rishis, right? Divya Purusha means people with special qualities on them. So Divya Purusha and rishis all have mentioned from here. Now, why here? Why here? Why here? Now here, this part where the thumb is, this is where the pitris are. Now, why all these 3 different areas of the hand? All these areas all have pulse points. There is a pulse point over here. If you press this pulse point, you can actually help yourself by relieving neck pain. Your neck, all the nerves are at the base of your thumb over here, and there's a pulse point. If you touch any of the ends, you will feel yourself. Touch your ends of the fingers, you will feel there are pulse points which are connected to the rest of the body. Then there are pulse points on the palm over here, and there's a pulse point right here at the base of the palm again. Now, why all these pulse points? So I have already mentioned on the diagram over there, this is the Jupiter's mount, and therefore this is the Dharma, right? And then you have Mercury, and then you have Saturn, then you have Sun. Now, when I'm wearing rings, many people say, oh, how do we, you know, wear the rings, etc., right? Now, 99.9% in India will wear the Pukhraj on this finger. I'm not. I'm an exception. I don't wear the Pukhraj on this finger for this very reason that over here you have the Surya Chakra. And the Surya Chakra, when you wear the Pukhraj on the Surya Chakra, will give you success, but it will also create an ego. I wear it on the Shani Chakra. When I wear it on the Shani Chakra, it will give you success, it will make you work hard, but it will not give you ego. You'll just remain as it is, no matter how much accolades you get in your life. So you have the chakras which are on the hand, and therefore you have Jupiter. If we start from here, it's Sun, Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter. And this is the Pitra Rin that we have, in which the Pitra Tirtha, they call it Pitra Stan. Now, when you use your Janyo and you're doing the prayer, you actually will put the Janyo into your hand like this and then do that particular action. The Janyo indicates that I am aware of the rins that I have on me, and then I'm offering that Pitta Tarpan to the Devtas. I'm also offering it to the Rishis. I'm also offering it to my Pitra, my ancestors. This is the action which you create. Now, many people think, oh, Marugo Pani me thodiya, to Pani san cha matlab hai, I cha on me labh thindo. This is the labh. This is how it works. This is how the Devtas get the water. This is how the Rishis and the Divya Purusha get the water. And this is where your ancestors actually will receive the water oblation. Now, think about this. When you are doing a tarpan, when the water is actually falling, not all the water which you are putting into the tray or the thali will fall into the thali. कुछ जेको पानी आए वो evaporate थी वेंदो जेकी ता वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट कई उन्हें वाइब्रेशन सां जेको पानी evaporate थिए तो उन पानी जो evaporation enters into the tattva. So again the Mahabhutas are ignited, the 5 Pancha Mahabhutas which the body is made from, those Mahabhutas get ignited, and therefore that particular Pitri or Devta or Rishi receives that oblation. There's a science to it. It's not just by action king और जो कुछ माना ना है. हर एक मुद्रा, हर एक stance जेको असां use कयूं था. Now you see why I told you that you have this finger as the moksha finger, because when you are using the thumb, your ego, you're controlling. So your dhyan mudra, right, is controlling. This moksha is controlling the ego and say, hey, ego, calm down. Then when you are doing this, this becomes another mudra. And each one of the finger has a mudra, right? The mudras or the stances are the one which actually help us in achieving the result that we want. And that's the reason why we do the tarpan in that fashion. So there's a whole science to it. It's not like ma pani khayo ai by ma tarpan kayo ta by unake miliyo. Na, Jerimla wo tarpan kaimta asa mantran sa. Now I'm going to teach you the most simplest manner, right? Can we have the picture of the ingredients which are required to do the tarpan? So you can see I have shankha on top of an Achman vessel. The shankha is always kept on this Achmanium. Now, first what you'll do is you will, if you have kusha, use kusha. If you don't have kusha, just take ordinary grass, right? And hold it in your hand like this. If you have kusha, you can make a kusha ring. They also sell already pre-made kusha rings, which you can buy and use them. If you don't have it, it doesn't matter. If you have it, wear it onto your right hand ring finger. Wear both sides when you're doing this. Both sides of the body must get activated. Why do we wear a kusha ring? When we wear this kusha grass has been given a certain benefit or certain advantage in using it, because this is the same kusha grass which has been used to annihilate the whole Yaduvanshi clan. That's Krishna's lineage. Now, this grass is a little sharp on the edges, and it has been given a boon that you will be used in all Pitra pujas. Or if you do Mahayags, you will use this grass. So this particular grass has to be worn on the ring finger, just like a ring. Now, once you have this, you will take, this is to create Shuddhi of the body. So the first time that you will do is take water in your hands and you will rub it off. And this is known as Hatha Prakshala. That means I cleanse my hands. That's a very simple thing. Then the water you will take, you will drink Om Narayana Namah, right? You put it over your head like this. And then Om Madhvaya Namah. Then Om Govindaya Namah. 3 times you drink. And then after that, you wash your hands again because your hands are deemed to be dirty. They have touched your mouth. Then you wash your hands again and Hatha Prakshala. Now you take that other container which has the sesame seeds, black and white sesame seeds, and this is the container. Now you take this black and white sesame seeds are used in Pitra Puja because black and white sesame seeds have been given a boon also that they are deemed to be representation of the sweat from Vishnu. So you have white and black, which is both day and night sweat, right? So the seeds have been given a boon that when you are being used, this is why they put til in yag, right? Because the boon have been given to those particular objects, that when you use these objects, you will get that liberation. Now, once you have this til mixture, you add in a little bit of milk into this thing, and you create a concoction of water and milk. Now you pour the water and milk. I will not pour because I'm sitting on a table right here. It will create a splash, but I'll show you the action. So please go back to the first page where it shows the palm. Right. Now, when you see this particular action, you have to pour the til and water into the front area of your hand. I'll just use ordinary water to show you. So you will pour it like this, and you pour it and you repeat twice. Om Deva Triptyam Samarpyami. Om Deva Triptyam Samarpyami. And then the middle portion, you take a hand, you cup it, and you take the hand, you put it into your palm, and you hold it, and you say, Om Manushya Triptyam Samarpyami. Om Divya Manushya Triptyam Samarpyami. Om Rishi Triptyam Samarpyami. And then after that, you take the water again with the sesame seeds and the milk, and you pour it through your hands using the Janyo always, and pour it through your hands, and you let the water drop like this through the thumb and the first finger, and you say Om Pitra Triptyam Samarpyami. Om Pitra Triptyam Samarpyami. This is just a 2-minute action, which you will see immense results by satisfying the means, right? जेको असां पितरनि जी पूजा कयूं था, केवल 2 मिंट लॻंदा, 2 दफ़ा अॻियां पाणी केराइणो आहे, जंहिंमें देवनि जी तृप्त्याम असां कयूं था, त भई तृप्त थियनि, सेटिस्फाई थियनि, एंड देन पासे खां ऋषियुनि जो ऐं जेके दिव्य मनुष्य आहिनि उन्हनि जो, and then on the side over here where we are doing for Pitra. Tin handante a actions creates sanctity for all. And then jin ja pitran ja ain je tanke yaad ain penja purva त जेॾी महिल तव्हां पितरनि जी पूजा कयो था त उन्हनि जा नाला वठो, उन्हनि खे तुरंत जे हींअर तव्हां समस्त पित्र चवंदा त सभिनी पितरनि जो नाला अची वेंदा हिन में, पर जे तव्हां नाला चवंदा हिकु हिकु जा त उन हिकु हिकु माण्हू जो नाले सां उनखे उहो तर्पण मिलंदो. This is the simple action that we have, that we can do, which will actually benefit not only us, but it will also benefit 7 generations.
I think we'll have to try very hard now to understand all this.
Actually, you can always replay this whole video and understand.
Yeah, whatever you have said is so technical that it'll take time for us to digest. Actually, it's not so easy to absorb and assimilate these kind of things. And in reality, you have opened the Pandora box, because the more questions you have answered, the more questions are coming into our minds. And I think this is going to be an endless situation. We'll have to call you again and again, because you need to answer many of our uprising doubts and questions that are coming in now.
You see, I try my best to explain it in the most logical manner, and also use जेको साइंस जो आधार है, राइट? जे असां कुछ भी एक्शन कयूं था त उन आधार के केतिरी वेटेज है साइंस में, त जे असां समझंदासीं त भाई असां ही कयूं था एक्शन, हिन एक्शन जो ही प्रभाव आहे, त जेॾी महिल उन प्रभाव जो असां लाभ ॾिसंदासीं न त पाण ई असांखे ज्ञान अची वेंदो त भाई असांखे ही करिणो आहे. See, many people have taken the easy way out. Shradha and Thikas, you know, Umasha jo Shradha and last Pitran jo nahi hai, ma dan to kare acha, mandir mein वञी करे पैसा विझी ईंदा. That's the easiest thing you can do, right? Many people come to me when I'm doing many events, like for example Janmashtami, Navratra, etc., etc. Maharaj, how can we help? And I say, hey, give me your time. I don't need money. Money will come automatically. तो वो तां प्रण करे छॾियो त तव्हांखे कुझु कार्य करिणो आहे, लक्ष्मी जो प्रभाव पाण ई अची वेंदो. पर समय जो दान मुश्किल माण्हू कंदा आहिनि. घणेई माण्हू धनी आहिनि, चवनि था ओ महाराज असां हेतिरो जमा करे छॾियो तव्हांजे अकाउंट में, तव्हां हीअ पूजा करे छॾियो. No, it doesn't. When you want to do something, be part of the whole process. Don't just give money. Giving money is the easiest thing that you can do. Do something which has value to it. Give your time. Sheva kayo. Right? Je taan daan kayo, ta anna jo daan kayo. Vatho vani kare penje hathan sa. वो अन्न, वो पानी, वो खणी वञो मंदिर में. पाण नंगी ड्राइवर खे चओ हाँ वो जाकर और आश्रम में दे देना ड्राइवर खे बि लाभ मिलंदो तव्हांजे कार्य सां
त असां ही प्रोग्राम अरेंज कयो आहे शेवा है ना तो सब
बिल्कुलु
everybody is benefiting from this
बिल्कुलु
whoever listens will be benefited by this
बिल्कुलु ही ज्ञान
and
जो दान आहे
Sunny also he has sponsored the show so and all of us we have given our time to it so now I think it's time to end now on the
Yes.
25th I'm suggesting and like you discussed that you can talk to us about Diwali and Dhanteras. Can you do that?
It will be a topic that which would be interesting. I will also again explain the science behind celebrating Dhanteras, Roop Chodas, Diwali, Govardhan Puja, Bhai Dooj. These are the 5 days we actually celebrate Diwali.
Can we do that in 1 hour, or shall we next time we take 1.5 hours? Narendra, can we do 1.5 hour next time?
We try, depend upon our timings from the
Okay, so 25th we will have a show, and let us see if Maharaji can speak for up to 1.5 hour, so he can explain us all these points, and then we should have our notebook ready. We should have our notebook ready. No, on the 25th you come, there'll be enough gap. No? Today is the 4th, right? So we have 21 days. By that time, we'll start missing you.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
Then we'll remember you. Now we'll be after you. Because now you opened the Pandora box. So now we want to know more from you.
ये जेकी थींदी आहे न ज्ञान जी जेॾीमहिल धारा खुलंदी आहे ऐं जेको माण्हू ज्ञान मां तृप्त थी वेंदो आहे त the seeker gets even more knowledge because when you are seeking the knowledge and you are looking at what the knowledge is being dispensed to you in a logical manner हींअर जे मां तव्हांखे चवां न तव्हांखे श्राद्ध करणो आहे तव्हांजे लाइ लाभकारी आहे त तव्हां सोचींदव मां कयां न कयां पर जे मां तव्हांखे ॿुधायां थो त तव्हांजे हिन एक्शन सां ही सभु ॻाल्हियूं थियनि थियूं त तव्हां ज़रूरु कंदा मूंखे विश्वास आहे
I'm also happy.
तव्हांजी ॻाल्हि सही आहे बिल्कुलु ॻाल्हि सही आहे तव्हांजे अॼु जे लास्ट एपिसोड खां पोइ मां बि इहो चवंदुसि कि असां सभिनीनि खे 15 ॾींहं पितरनि खे यादि करे श्राद्ध करणु खपे ऐं जे बि न कयो हुजे त उहो 6 ते अमावस ॾींहुं सर्व पितर अमावस आहे उन ॾींहुं श्राद्ध करे सघनि था जेके रहिजी विया आहिनि त हू पणीह 6 तारीख़ श्राद्ध करे सघनि था ऐं इन द एंड कंक्लूडेशन इहो ई थो थिए कि असांखे श्राद्ध करणु खपे ऐं अगरि श्राद्ध न करणा हुजनि त बद्रीनाथ हरिद्वार ऐं गया टिनी जॻह ते पिंड भराइण खपनि जेके अॼु जी तारीख़ में माण्हुनि जे लाइ पॉसिबल कान्हे कि भई केरु बद्रीनाथ बि वञे वरी हरिद्वार बि वञे ही भई हिकु रूट में अची था वञनि वरी गया 3 रूट में थो अची वञे त इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि हिकु साल में ई माण्हू टाइम कढी करे टिनी जॻहियुनि ते वञे त उन हिसाब सां असां इहो ई चवंदासीं सभिनीनि खे कि भई श्राद्ध करणु खपे ऐं पितरनि खे यादि करणु खपे त हुननि जो आशीर्वाद असां सां गॾु रहंदो ऐं हमेशह उहो असांखे आशीष कंदा आशीष कंदा आशीष कंदा त मां अॼु जो एपिसोड तव्हां खां अॻियां वठंदुसि अॼु चङो टाइम वधीक थी वियो आहे असांखे 20 मिंट वधीक थी विया आहिनि त असां अॼु जो ही एपिसोड पूरो कंदासीं ऐं मां धन्यवाद ॾींदुसि महाराज वासुदेव शर्मा जी खे असांजा विच में मिस्टर सनी दास उर्वशी ठाकुर दादा दयाल हरजाणी सभिनीनि खे मां थैंक्स चवंदुसि कि हू पंहिंजो क़ीमती टाइम कढी करे आया ऐं असांखे स्पेशली वासुदेव शर्मा महाराज सवालनि जो जवाबु ॾिना सवाल एॾा आहिनि कि घटि थींदा कान जिज्ञासा जीअं जीअं ज्ञान जी जीअं जीअं क्वेश्चन पुछंदासीं उहो ज्ञान वधीक खुलंदो त हिन खे अॼु असां हेतिरे में ई कंक्लूड कंदासीं पूरो कंदासीं सभिनीनि खे जय झूलेलाल लास्ट में नंढी प्रार्थना सां गॾु मां ही एपिसोड पूरो कंदुसि जीअं त महाराज शर्मा जी चयो कि भई योगा खे हाणे अमेरिका वारा पंहिंजो था चवनि ऐं हू चवनि था असांजा जेके साईं लीलाशाह हुआ 93 जी एज में बि हुननि सिंगापुर में 1972 में योगा करे ॾेखारियो हो। त हू हिकिड़ा अहिड़ा योगी हुआ जिते वेंदा हुआ योग, हुननि जो सॼो जीवन वियो हली योग, सेवा ऐं ॿियो ॾेती लेती जे ख़िलाफ़ ॻाल्हाईंदे। त हुननि जी हिकु नंढी प्रार्थना सां गॾु मां अॼु जो ही प्रोग्राम पूरो कंदुसि। हे भॻवान, असां सभिनीनि खे सुबुधी ॾे, शक्ति ॾे, निरोगता ॾे, पंहिंजो पंहिंजो कर्तव्य पालन करे सदा सुखी रहो। हे भॻवान, असां सभिनीनि खे सुबुधी ॾे, शक्ति ॾे, निरोगता ॾे, पंहिंजो पंहिंजो कर्तव्य पालन करे सदा सुखी रहो। ओम शांति शांति शांति। जय झूलेलाल।